Hey guys! All right, so we're on our second letter for this week, our second word for the letter G, and today we're going to talk about the concept of growth mindset. Now, if you have kids or if you're a teacher, you may have heard this before because it's usually used for either child psychology or really just to talk about what kind of the issue with our current education system in the West. So it's the idea of a growth versus a fixed mindset. And what that means is that if you have a fixed mindset, you think that you come into the world with certain skills, you have certain abilities, you have certain talents, you have certain weaknesses, and that's kind of the lot that you're given. That's kind of your toolbox, and that's really what you're going through the rest of life with. And obviously, the other option would be a growth mindset, which is that we come into the world with some particular skills, some particular ways that we have a little bit more of a talent or a bent towards one thing or another, but we have an incredible opportunity and an incredible ability as humans to grow over time, to learn new skills, to adjust our personality, to be self-aware, to make some changes, to develop talents, and to learn new things so that we can do things we couldn't do before. Now, I mean, clearly one seems better than the other, right? Like, why would you not want to have a growth mindset? But the way that we teach our kids in school today is show up to school, learn a subject for the first time, get an A through an F on that subject. And now, in the subject of world geography, you don't know as much, or you're not as good as you are in the subject of reading, right? You're not very good at spelling, but you're really good at math. And that, whether you're saying it or not as a teacher, is projecting to a child the fact that they're just not good at something, or they are naturally good at another thing. And that's really, really not the whole story. But if that's the way that we teach our youth, they grow up to believe that about themselves. And this goes beyond just subjects. So as a person who was very good at school, I was I was the classic dream for a teacher. Quiet unless I was asking questions, which I was doing all of the time, studied incredibly hard for tests, loved to write, loved to do essays. If you gave me a task, boy, did I deliver, right? However, if you gave us a project that was visual, that had to do with putting together pictures, creating a mobile, we had to make a puzzle one time, writing poems, but then illustrating the poems. Y'all, I was so bad at that. And I would always, the only time I ever would get a B or below on a project was the visual aspect of it. So I legitimately thought, and I remember this as vividly as if it were today, thinking, well, I'm good at everything else, but I'm really bad at art. And if you know my story, you know that I made a living as an artist right as I started out my whole jewelry journey. I was also an illustrator. I still have illustrations, watercolor illustrations, that you can purchase. I have event invitations, all of this through this site called Dixie Design. And I thought I was bad at that. And nobody told me otherwise. The teachers just gave me a B and moved on with their day. We had to do some video projects, and I didn't do well in the video projects either. And hello, what do I do now? Right? I essentially make a living by talking to people through video, editing the video, creating graphics, which again is visual art, and then putting it on technology. And I also thought I was bad at technology. So we are so unfair with ourselves based on the fact that we think, well, I mean, historically speaking, I'm not very good at this. When if you look at things with a growth mindset, you can realize that the real answer is I don't have much experience with this. I don't know what I'm doing and haven't tried to learn how. I don't have the right tools for this currently. I haven't found the right person to teach me, right? So if you think that you are just a bad eater and that's just how you are, right? You just are a food addict, or you're just a wino, or you're just a addicted to social media, to name some things that have nothing to do with school, right? Or, oh, I'm bad at technology, so I can't grow my business that way. Or what else? I'm just a stressed out person. That's just how I am. I just have asthma. That's how I am. I thought that for years and years, and I haven't taken asthma medicine in 3 years. So just that shift that we can make as adults away from that thing that we were taught all of our lives, that you have a certain set of skills you're born with, they're handed to you, that's your toolbox, that's all you've got, to actually, you're really smart, you're human just as much as anybody else is, and you have the ability to learn. Once you make that shift, suddenly the sky opens up and you're able to do so much more with your life. So that is a little intro on growth mindset versus fixed mindset. If you want to go watch some YouTube videos on this, you just type in growth mindset. A lot of them, however, will probably be about education, but you know, if you've got kids, man, you definitely want to look into this. So love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. And next week we'll be talking about H. So I'll see you then. Bye.